Hello, welcome to TTV News with some latest events in the province. Ladies and gentlemen, in the afternoon of August 23rd, the Standing Committee of TayNinhTV Provincial Youth Union, in coordination with the Military Command of TayNinhTV Province, organized the handover ceremony of the Military Surveillance Relative House for families of disadvantaged soldiers in Phước Thạnh Hamlet, Phước Vinh Camille, Châu Thành District, TayNinhTV Province. Attending the ceremony, there were Colonel Hồ Văn Trường, Deputy Director of Politics, Provincial Military Command, Ms. Trịnh Thị Như Trang, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Youth Union.
Implementing the 2023 work program in the coordination plan between the Provincial Military Command and the Provincial Youth Union, up to now, the project of the Military Civilian Gratitude House has been completed and handed over to Mr. Lý Văn Lý family in Phước Thạnh Hamlet, Phước Vinh Camille, Châu Thành District, TayNinhTV Province. The house is built spaciously with a total construction cost of 80 million Vietnam dong. At the ceremony, representatives of the Provincial Youth Union, Châu Thành District Youth Union and localities handed over many gifts to the family. On August 23rd, the delegation of the Provincial Military Command, headed by Colonel Đỗ Thành Việt, Deputy Political Commissioner of the Provincial Military Command, had an inspection of the understanding and implementation of the unit with the best ratings model for the Military Command Board of Hoa Tân Thao. Over time, it includes completing the best political tasks, observing the strictest discipline, and the safest unit. The Military Command Board of Hoa Tân Thao has performed its functions well, organized the reception of 193 military personnel, including 13 party members who completed their active duty to return to their localities in 2023 closely and truthfully, and register in the reserve ranks in accordance with regulations, organized the ceremony of delivery and receipt of jobs, reaching 100% of the target at 2 levels: Operation Defense Force Organization and Training, Party Work, Political Work, Logistics, Technical and Financial Work, on meet the set targets and requirements.
In the morning of August 23rd, the thematic monitoring delegations of the Provincial People's Council, led by Ms. Nguyễn Thị Xuân Hương, heads of the Culture and Social Departments of the Provincial People's Council, has a working sessions and conducted a practical survey in Ninh Điền, Camille, Châu Thành District on the delays and organizations of implementing the National Target Program on new rural developments in the periods of 2021-2025 in locality.
Since 2019, Ninh Điền Camille has been recognized by the Provincial People's Committee as meeting the new rural standard. As an agricultural commune, people's lives are still difficult, but the party committee, Commune People's Committee, and local people in recent years have strived to maintain the commune to meet the new rural standards and are striving to build an advanced new rural commune. The rural phase of the commune has strengthened a lot. Roads are expanded, increasingly spacious and clean. Agricultural production and the quality of labor resources for agricultural production have been improved. Was such as school, house cleanliness, markets, community cultural sports, and learning community centers were built spaciously, cleanly, and beautifully. People were excited and strongly supported the National Target Program on New Rural Development. Ms. Nguyễn Thị Xuân Hương welcomed and acknowledged the efforts of Ninh Điền Camille, and at the same time asked the commune to continue to have solutions to overcome difficulties. In particular, the commune needs to continue efforts to further reduce the proportion of poor and near-poor households, need solutions to mobilize and encourage people to join cooperatives to develop production. On August 23rd, the Social Cultural Emulation Division of TayNinhTV Province coordinated with Châu Thành District People's Committee to sponsor and support Anchor Commune in building a new rural commune in the period of 2023-2025. The Social Cultural Emulation Block of TayNinhTV Province will support Anchor Commune in terms of resources and materials to implement the criteria for new rural construction by 2023, in which focusing on supporting the implementation of some specific contents such as supporting the implementation of rural road lighting routes, assisting the implementation of flower routes, supporting health insurance costs for disadvantaged households, support and upgrade propaganda equipment, financial support for repairing and operating equipment of the commute radio station, and 6 hamlets cluster. The total amount is 10 million Vietnam dong. The social cultural emulation block of Tây province will continue to promote comprehensively, extensively, practically, and effectively the emulation movement, contributing to the successful implementation of the new rural construction target of each year and the whole period of 2023-2025, improving the material and spiritual life of the people in rural areas in Châu Thành district. On August 23, 2023, TayNinhTV Women's Union, in collaboration with the Provincial Charity Women's Club, organized the donation of breeding cows to the poor, disabled, and extremely difficult women in Trang Bang Thảo. 3 cows with a total value of 66 million Vietnam dong were donated by the Provincial Charity Women's Club to raise households of women currently living in Gia Lộc War and Phước Bình Camille, including Miss Nguyễn Thị Tý, born in 1977 with difficult circumstances and precarious income. Miss Hồ Thị Rock was born in 1967 as a victim of Orange Agent dosing. Miss Nguyễn Thị Hoa, born in 1963 and died of illness. Her husband worked alone to support the family. From August 21st to 23rd, survey delegation of the Provincial People's Council visited some new rural communes and some commune health stations. Through the survey, the staff of commune health stations still have a lot of talks. Staff at commune health stations said that the stations have been invested in spacious and clean upgrades during the process of local construction of new rural communes. As a result, the working conditions of medical workers are getting better and better. The lack of health insurance has also been overcome. People in communes, especially remote and border communes, have visited health stations more. Dispensaries are increasingly striving to have high credibility from the people. However, the staff of the clinics still have a lot of talks, in which policies to support health workers under Resolution 47 issued by the Provincial People's Council at the end of 2022 have not been implemented. The current night duty regime is very low, only 30,000 Vietnam dong per day and night for each employee. The late allowance for each day on duty is 15,000 Vietnam dong per person, so many medical staff are not skilled to work. Also, because of the low regime, it is difficult to recruit health workers, so many stations are currently short of staff. Health stations as functional sectors and levels to consider raise the level of support for health workers working at health stations.
Coming to Padang Mountain during the 7 lunar moon, visitors will have the opportunity to express their respect to Linh Sơn Holy Mother, or popularly known as Padang Godmother, who pray for health and peace for the grandparents, for the parents, and the whole family. To admire the statue of Bodhisattva of Mercy Table Đà Sơn, currently holding the records for the highest bronze Bodhisattva of Mercy statue in the Asia, located on the top of the mountain. Recite clusters and listen to lectures on the legend and the meaning of Vulang Festival of the Buddhism. Join in the offering of lanterns and the foot of the pillar of the Bar Sutra. Practice the act of gratitude to the elders. Enjoy the special art program, offering 1,000 respect. Complete the relation as a child.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the report of media agency on the prolonged environmental pollution after the collapse of the waste dump fence that caused hundreds of the households living in Tân Lợi Hamlet, Tân Hưng Camille, Tân Châu District, Tây Ninh Province to be severely affected and damaged, TayNinhTV Environmental Technology Startup Company has carried out remediation.
Tân Hưng Waste Treatment Plant, belong to TayNinhTV Environmental Technology Stock Company, is currently deploying machinery and equipment to remove open dumps that apply high life motions to overcome the incident of overloaded garbage that collapsed the wall, causing leachate and garbage to spill into people's farmland, causing damage for vegetable rubber that we have replanted. We took 2 vehicles here and we finished the cleaning of the site for about 1 1 week to 10 days, then return the remains. As for building a wall, the bricklayer will measure it and then build. The company also promised to overcome this situation soon, but because the company's difficult time of dealing with the amount of garbage every day and having to do this part, it was a fatigue, so the extended time is not explained. The company also received the delays, and in the near future, the company will fix it soon and quickly to return the site and rebuild the wall. The company also took measures to invest in a garbage compactor to reduce the amount of garbage left outside. Previously, the company's wall with the length of about 50 meters was collapsed, causing litter and garbage to overflow into people's farmland, causing damage to vegetables, rubber, and especially people were insecure about the risk of groundwater pollution from the landfill. Meanwhile, as noted by the reporters on August 22nd, many households with arable land next to the landfill are still waiting for representatives of the company and functional sectors to come to an agreement, definitely resolve the immediate damage and have a long-term solution for people to reproduce. My rubber has been growing for 2 years and cassava have been planted for 9 months. About to harvest now, the landfill has a fatigue. I asked the landfill to be remediated and the local government as well as Tân Châu District Environment Agency supported me to treat it. Also, according to the Deputy Director of the Waste Treatment Plant of TayNinhTV Environmental Technology Joint Company, in the short term, the company has worked with some households to agree on a plan to compensate for damage after the collapse of the landfill wall. In the near future, the company will organize the mulching of the entire open landfill to limit litter from stormwater runoff. The company plans to spray people periodically 2 times a month.
About 35 kilometers from Phan Rang Tháp Chàm City, Great Cave in Vĩnh Hải Camille, Ninh Hải District, is a unique place with magnificent rock range and unique fossilized action coral field located in Núi Chúa National Park. This place is an attractive destination for tourists to Ninh Thuận.
Right Cave is formed by rocky mountains deep into the sea with rock blocks stacked on top of each other. The waves head from caves that are ideal places for sea otters to live, not only straying from the name. Right Cave also possesses a unique beauty with ancient fossilized coral rocks like the surface of Mars or the Moon. The first time I came to Right Cave, this landscape in True Motion, I was amazed when I stood in front of an ancient coral reef lying on the surface of the moon, looking away from the rocky mountain, shaped like one bird. It is very beautiful. The ancient coral cliffs, eroded by the waves over time, create unique shapes. A tidal wave rises to the rocky beach and then rises like a waterfall on the surface of the sea. Because of the tonic beauty and somewhat mysterious that the rock beach at Right Cave always attracts tourists. This is my first time to Ninh Thuận and also the first time to Right Cave. The landscape here is very beautiful, majestic, beautiful background, so I take pictures very easily. The landscape still retains its pristine features. Love the scenery here from rocky mountains. The sea water is very clean and blue. Another great experience when coming to Right Cave that visitors should not miss is walking on the Golden Bridge along the slope of True Motion, bringing visitors into a completely different world. The highlight of Right Cave is the ancient coral shape from millions of years ago, with a very special shape that tourists liken to the moon on Earth. In addition to these highlights, when coming to Right Cave, visitors can also visit some other landscapes such as waterfalls on the sea, rocks with different shapes that satisfies the imagination. Since the beginning of the year, Red Cave tourist area Vĩnh Hy Bay and tourist attractions in Nuju National Park have welcomed over 130 domestic and foreign visitors. Tourist activities are chosen by many tourists when coming here, such as sightseeing, playing sea sports, fishing, riding a glass-bottom boat to see corals in the ocean, visiting rare sea turtle sanctuaries, and conquering high mountain peaks, walking through special use forests, observe wildlife.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.